Hare Krishna. We'll proceed our journey with 58th verse of 2nd chapter from Bhagavad Gita as it is. The Sanskrit verse goes like this. Yada samharate chayam kurmangāniva sarvasa indriyan-indriyarthebhyas tasya pragya pratisthita. Its translation is as follows. One who is able to withdraw his senses from sense objects as the tortoise draws its limbs within the shell is firmly fixed in perfect consciousness. In the previous verse, we saw Arjuna asking question to Krishna about how a self-realized person acts, sits and walks in this world. A famous philosopher said, "He who asks a question is a fool for 5 minutes. He who doesn't ask a question remains a fool forever." Arjuna's asking these questions is for our benefit and very important for us to advance on our journey of self-realization. Krishna has now answered Arjuna's question of the characteristic of a self-realized person with a very beautiful example of a tortoise. A tortoise has a special feature that whenever it sees possibility of a danger, it withdraws its limbs back. Krishna explains that a self-realized person engages his senses in the world, but the senses are always under his control. Our scriptures explain that a Goswami is that person who is Swami or master of his senses. When such a person sees the possibility of tempting situations, he can withdraw his senses by avoiding to indulge in those things or activities. Many times people ask, why do spiritualists follow so many rules and regulations? Aren't such restrictions conservative and dogmatic? The simple fact is that restriction is not opposed to freedom. We all have experienced how exercising restraint can open up new realm of opportunity. By restricting and resisting such temptations, one can break free from the dictation of the mind and senses and awaken deeper spiritual experiences of devotion. This example of tortoise also acts as a North Star, guiding all those practicing spirituality. Often our mind and senses tends to become captivated by devices of distraction in modern age. It is thus necessary that we learn to avoid those distracting objects, and it becomes even more important to avoid them at the time of our spiritual practices of meditation, like chanting and concentrating our mind on the all-attractive Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishna says this will help us to have pragya pratisthita or fixed consciousness, which is Krishna consciousness, even though we may be functioning in this world. Hare Krishna. We'll explore more enlightening wisdom of Bhagavad Gita like this in our journey in the upcoming verses.